Alright guys, this is how you mod the plays.xml file for Draft Day Sports College Football or Draft Day Sports Pro Football. Works pretty much for any version. So first thing you do is you go into your program files, x86, and find Draft Day Sports. It's probably going to be in your C drive. Mine's on my D drive because that's where I saved it. But find it. Find Draft Day Sports 2020, whichever college or pro. Inside there, you're going to click on. Actually, let me just do it. You're going to click on data. And then once you click on data, it'll bring you here. Here you're going to find the plays.xml file. This is mine. I've actually already customized it a little bit, so I'll show you that in a minute. But you click that. It's best to actually edit this in Notepad++. So Notepad++ is a free program. If you don't have it, make sure you download it. It's super easy to use, especially when it comes to modding with this. That's what I use. And I'll show you what it looks like here. But basically what you're going to do, or what I recommend before you start, is save a copy of the original plays.xml file. This way you have it and you don't have to worry about reinstalling that part of the game. So you can always just interchange the files in and out as you see fit. So once you've saved it, whatnot, you're going to open up plays.xml. This is what it's going to look like. So this is special teams offense right here. Gives you the actual playbooks. The slot IDs are actually the positions of the players. 0 is the quarterback. I actually have a file where I created what all the slot IDs mean. I'll send you. I think I've sent that to you guys before. If not, I'll send it again. But basically, this is what it looks like. So there's some pre-programmed stuff in the game. Stuff like quarterback, drop back, run, draw, so on and so forth. I mean, you get the idea here. There's a bunch of different things that are pre-programmed into the game. As far as the creation aspect of it, what you want to do, let's actually just go to one that I created. All right. So when you create, you have to have a formation, a name. The name can be custom. You can name it anything you want. The type is either run or pass. The offensive scheme, there's like 4 or 5 different options. Again, that's in the Excel spreadsheet that I'll send you guys. Same thing with the run preference. And the base form equals false. I have no clue what this does. I asked one of the guys and they couldn't explain. They didn't know offhand either. So as far as I know, it doesn't impact anything. It's never impacted anything for me. So yeah, so we'll just leave it at that. All right, so moving down to the play itself. So what I did is I used quarterback drop or QB drop back short, which is basically it's a drop back motion, obviously, for the quarterback. And for this particular play, I want it to be a dive right. So for the running back, we give him dive right. Now, as far as the actions are concerned, for the actions, they're a little tricky. For the action, if you're using a pre-programmed action, you have to use action like how it is here, and the backslash. I guess that's I don't know. Is that a less than sign? I don't know. One of those signs, less than sign. We'll say, yeah, less than. That's how that works. That's how the actions work. If you want to determine who gets the ball inside of the slot ID, you have to have PCT equals and then a number from 1 to 100 for whoever you want to get the ball. So in this case, I want the running back to get the ball 100% of the time. That means that if this particular play is called, the quarterback will never get the ball. The fullback will never, or there actually is, well, yeah, the fullback will never get the ball. The tight end, the wide receivers, none of them will ever get the ball. They'll all go to the running back. For the actions, right? The actions, again, can't stress this enough because it's all case sensitive, number one. And number two, it is very tedious as far as how it wants things. So if you don't have it exactly how it is here, it will cause you problems. All right, so what we did here is, since the game doesn't have its own pistol formation, I created the pistol formation. What I did was, it was as easy as taking the running back and changing the starting position. So action type equals start in quotes. Delta x equals 0. Delta y equals -18, and then the delay is equal to 1, and then you end the action. As far as what this all means, the type equals start, that's the type of movement. So when you want to start off a formation, when you're building an actual formation and you want to set the starting positions of the players, you go with what the start is. So you're going to use the start action. So what I'm saying here is I want, since I know what the starting positions are of the players in this formation, Brooks was kind enough to give that to me. What I do is I say, okay, quarterback is 0-15. 15 or 0-15, excuse me. -15 means that he is 15 yards, he's 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. That's what that means. Since I set it at -18, I'm basically saying, or I set it at 0-18, I'm basically saying I want the running back to line up 3 yards behind, a yard behind the quarterback. So the way that this works is the numbers work in feet. So every 3 feet is a yard, if you're a math buff. So we go -18, which is 6 yards behind the line. The QB is 5 yards behind the line. And then I gave a delay to simulate the action of a handoff. The delay is basically seconds, or something close to a second. So what I did is I did a 1. Basically what will happen is the play will go off, the defense and the offense will start moving. The running back will wait a second because he's simulating the handoff, and then he'll go. That's basically how that works. And he moves basically right into this dive right action. So that's that. This is a custom action. Basically what it does is, this is me telling the game to switch whatever the starting point is of the base formation that Brooks has already set. Brooks and OKB, or AKH, excuse me, have already set. Basically what you're going to do is, if you want to change starting formations or whatever, and move, say, your center to be behind your quarterback, you can do that because there is no actual snap. It's basically, guy starts out with the ball, play is run. That's how this works. Let's see if we can go to another one. Oh, I don't have that in this file. All right, well, what I was going to do is show... Actually, I can probably just do it with a regular pass play. All right, so wide receiver read. This is, basically a pass play. Pass plays are a little bit different because you have a few more little bits of information, which again is on the the Excel spreadsheet that I sent you guys. As far as the formation, or as far as the routes are concerned, because it's a pass play, anybody who's eligible to go out for a pass, you would go ahead and put the percent, right? And you want that percent to total, whatever it is. In this case, it looks like 95, I guess, or 85. 35 and 35 is 70 plus 15. That's 85. Yeah. So if you really wanted to switch this up, you could say, I don't know what I just deleted. Let's try that again. Yeah. All right. So you could say 15. We'll say we want him to get it. Slot ID 3, which I think in I formation is a tight end. I think. We'll check in a second. We want that to be 40%. We want that to be 40%. And then we want this to be 20%. And that's how it works. So that's basically what it'll look like in terms of the actual 100%. Now again, this part here is key because this actually dictates how the play is run. I mean, you tell your tight end this basically tells you if the tight end is going out for a pass, if the running back is blocking or going out for a pass, if where the pass target preference is, if it's outside. So if it's outside, that means it's going to look to the wide receivers first, or it'll look at this percentage. But you get the idea. That's how this kind of works. You can create, again, you can do this any way you want. Let me see if I can find where I came up with some custom movement. Custom movement. Where's custom movement? Gotta have something in here. Come on. There we go. All right, so custom movement. This is, what did I name this? Pistol power all right. All right, so this is basically the left guard who is pulling to the right. And he's pulling to the right to go as far outside of the formation as he needs to, which is about, I guess, 11 yards. So, yeah, that's basically what I'm telling the left guard to do. That pull might actually be a little too long, but he's going far all the way out to the right. I've set the blocking types, the other blocking types to be block right. Simple, not very difficult. But in order to do the action, what you need to do, and again, I don't do any delays on these because this is the offensive line. It directly affects the sim as the play goes off. So it's already assuming the play's been snapped, if that makes sense. So there's no need to put a delay in here. But basically what it does is it says, okay, delta X is 0, delta Y is 3, take 1 yard back, go 11 to the right, and 2 yards up. Excuse me. Yeah, 2 yards up. So 1 yard back, 11 to the right, 2 yards up. That's basically what I'm telling him. Now, what Brooks told me is that they, offensive linemen, have it coded into their, I guess, genetics that they'll always be looking for somebody to block, which is a good thing. So if, say, a defensive lineman blows up the play in the backfield, this pulling guard, who may or may not see him, is going to try and block him if he sees him and let him go if he doesn't. It's before he even finishes the movement. So that's pretty good logic in the case of the lineman. But that's basically the movement. Now, the thing to keep in mind was with delta X, again, you have to look at it as or with the XY, you have to look at it as like it's an XY axis. So anything negative on X means you're moving left. Anything positive means you're moving right. Anything on delta Y, or let me back up for a second. Delta X would be left or right, sideline to sideline. Delta Y would be north and south, more or less. So forwards or backwards, if that makes sense. So end zone to end zone. But yeah, that's basically how this works. Now, this is the mod file. This is where you're going to do all your work. Again, make sure you save it as something different. This way you don't wreck the original mod file and have to reinstall. I've done that. It's not fun. Let's back down. This is the movement that I've created, basically to simulate certain wide receiver routes, tight end routes, blocking combinations. Although, why are not I'm missing a ton of blocking combinations here? There's a ton of shit missing. I don't know what that's about. I'll have to look into that. But anyways, there's a ton of stuff in here that I've already gone ahead and created. Again, this is something I think I sent you guys. I do have it on another computer, but I'll have to pull it off and resend it, I think, because it's missing a ton of shit that I created. Anywho, but this is basically the basic movements. Close out of that, and then we'll come back to the 2020 folder. All right, so with this, this is actually super important. So when you use the plays mod file, when you use this file and you say you make a mistake, say by accident you leave this open, you don't close this, then what happens is when you go into the game and you go into the actual custom playbook section where you're trying to create a play or you're trying to add a play to the custom playbook, what'll happen is you'll generate an error and the DDSPF log will come up. And the cool thing about this is it'll tell you exactly where the error is. So right here, for example, I had a couple issues the other day. it sent me to line 6,417 on position 40. So 6,417. It's already fixed, but I'm going to show you what I did. 6,417, and then position 40, which was somewhere over here. But anyways, what I had done is I actually typed out \action here, and it screwed up the entire book, or it screwed up the entire game. So it's super, super important that you make sure you have all your syntax right. If you don't have your syntax right, then it's going to screw the game up, and you're going to spend a lot of time fixing issues. So typically what I do is I do a couple plays at a time, because it's a lot of copying and pasting from my part. And if I have an error on one of them, chances are I'm going to have an error on the few plays that I did make, because I copy and paste the template. So that's basically how that works. But yeah, this is very, very important. Make sure you locate this, which is always found in the DDSPF documents folder, the Wolverine Studios DDSPF 20 or whatever game you're modding that's where it's found. All right, so that's how that works. Let's go ahead and show you the output. Give me 2 seconds, pull the game up real quick. Load game. No, we don't want to load game. We're going to do a new game. So another thing is you have to do a new game. You can't just mod the plays.xml file and expect your plays to be there. For some reason, or at least it's been my experience, that the game will not read anything new after you've started an actual game, if that makes sense. So it's just the way it works. It's kind of how we do it. Give me 2 seconds. It's just creating the game. I'm gonna move the screen over so you guys can see it. But it should have my plays.xml file. It should have this file already there, which I tested the other day, and I know it works, or at least I'm hoping it works. All right. So just to kind of simulate this real quick, turn that to save options. You don't have to do this part. I'm just doing this just to make it a little bit quicker. Advanced settings, 1, save. All right, and then we're gonna go over to strategy. And on strategy, what you do is playbook, customize the playbook. And what you're gonna do is go to offense, create new playbook. Create new playbook. And then from there, as you can see, you already have the formation, or the created player. This is basically what I named it. I can't choose to remove the I formation part. That just sticks in. But anyways, I was trying to create something that was linear across all formations as far as the play call is concerned. So in this one, I called it 21L, pistol, full house, counter left. The idea here was going to be to line the tight end up on the left-hand side, which I don't think I did for this one. So it would have been 21 personnel, tight end on the left side is strong side. Pistol is the is more or less the pistol is more or less the what do you call it? The formation. Full house is sub formation, and counter left is the play. That's more or less how it works. The one thing that sucks is when you're using custom movement, which I'm doing a lot of, you don't actually get the play art. So the play art doesn't transition. So that's why I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible in the play name itself, at least as of right now, or until there's more movement and whatnot hard coded into the game. But basically that's what this is. So we'll add to the playbook. I got to add a passing play, which I haven't created any passing plays as of yet, but that's what we'll do there. All right, so that's my playbook. Oh shit! Oh, whoops! Not counter. Give me. There we go. All right. So I did that. Switch this to custom because we want to see the play in action. So that's my playbook. Just trying to make it so This is super easy when we look at it. All right, so that's that. Oh, we're gonna run the draft because I started this off on the wrong spot. So it's gonna take a couple minutes, but that's basically the gist of it. As far as the movement and everything else is concerned, it's again, if you're looking at an XY axis, X is sideline to sideline, Y is end zone to end zone. That's more or less how this works. But yeah, I mean, the most important thing is these, make sure you're closing your actions. Remember, again, if you're using a pre-programmed action like this, you just go backslash less than sign, or no, greater than sign. I don't fucking know. One of those damn signs. And then for custom movement, you have to actually end it with the action. So that's how that works. So, yeah, that's that. It's the draft done. Draft's done. We're going to simulate free agency. This is probably going to have me check my roster. Training camps can go. All right, and then preseason. So go straight to preseason. We'll go play game. Start game. Heads. Or since we created a couple of offensive plays, we're going to want to see our offense first. So we'll do the kickoff. Let's hope we don't fumble. All right, so there we go. So what happened to my playbook? Did I not save? Oh, son of a bitch. Hang on a second. Did I not save the strategy? No, I did it for Green Bay because I'm an idiot. Hang on a second, guys. I'm sorry. Where's the config? Config. Where's Green Bay? Take you. All right, that's that. Simulate week. We'll do it in week 2. My bad. Sorry about that. Play game. Let's try it again. Receive. Continue. What the hell happened? Oh, kickoff defense. All right, here we go. Here we go. All right, so that's that. I don't remember how to slow the play call down, or the play-by-play down, and I don't see where the hell the bar is at anymore, unless I'm just completely missing it. But you see my plays right there. I only have the 21L pistol full house, so we'll call that. And as you see, the tight end and the fullback, I know it's quick. The tight end and the fullback were both standing in the backfield. For the pistol, the running back was behind the quarterback. So that's how that works. So I probably should create a little bit more of a delay. No. So probably should create a little bit more of a delay, but that's basically how it works. And you can see the quarterback, after he does his little drop back move, he just stops. He doesn't do anything else. So that's basically it. As far as I can tell, I have not created anything overpowered. Game analysis. I mean, this is probably not a good example because I only ran a few different plays against a couple of different defenses, but you get the idea here. Ran against dime. I mean, it averaged 7.5 yards. But if I was to run this against the typical 4-3 or something along those lines, then chances are that this is not going to play out the way that it is. Chances are the 4-3 or the 3-4 or the 5-2 or, whatever you're running. I mean, even the nickel defense here, whatever this defense was, put a stop to it. So it's just one of those things where, the game will do what the game does based on the talent that's on the field and based on the plays that are called, and, that's the way it works. But that is pretty much it, gentlemen. 24 minutes in, went a little long because I screwed some things up, but that's it. If you have any questions, any concerns, just let me know, and we'll go from there. All right, y'all have a good one.